We play and call it work.
Hey everyone, welcome to this week's episode of Rules You Got Wrong, Warhammer Fantasy Edition.
Hello.
Bunch of minor things. This is from Colin, our last game. Is just eating peanuts and all swallowed. I'll not edit that out. Warriors of Chaos versus Empire, Warhammer Fantasy Battle Report, episode 135. Actually, this is against you versus Ben.
Okay.
And I was there as well.
Yep, I remember
So
that
it's more
game.
of a learning game than a really tactical, strong game. But a couple things were wrong. I apologize, but I cut off your name on this comment. But pistols are quick to fire, so no -1 penalty to hit after moving Empire turn 1. They can stand and shoot even if charging. The enemy's too close to stand and shoot. Quick to fire rulebook, page 73. You're 100% right. I think we did a bunch of games where we forgot pistols have quick to fire.
I think so. And especially on the fast cav.
Yeah. So
especially.
I know we have games upcoming that I'm pretty sure they're all correctly done with quick to fire. But
I think we noticed in our last game that we just did. I think.
Brain farts, but minor thing. But potentially a big thing. So you're absolutely right. I remember those pistols are quick to fire.
Yep.
The Welsh bloke says, "Hi Steve, at 9 minutes-ish, cannons can only hit one model per rank unless the cannonball is shooting the flank of the unit. If this happens, then each model firing is considered a flank." So what he's talking about is we had monstrous creatures where the cannonball, technically its line would jump over 2 bases, but I actually have to go double check this after reading the rule here. It actually says the cannon can only ever hit 1 model per rank.
Okay.
Unless in the flank. So we did that wrong. Even though the angle does jump over 2 bases, it's a longer base.
Yeah, it's the line template, so that's the way it...
Right. It only hits 1
Even
model
though it looks
per
like
rank.
that, it's only one. All right.
So that's a good one. That's actually a pretty good one. That's actually a big one, too.
It does make a difference, actually.
35 minutes. Steve, I think you challenged out of initiative step. Right there, you already lost me because there's no initiative step. You're talking about 40k, but maybe I can try to understand what you mean. This would mean that a battle center bearer should have been in base contact with a unit in order to attack it, even if the champion died when he did. Wouldn't a rank and file model step up to fill the gap? A character can always make way to move over to attack.
And that's at the start of combat, correct?
Yeah, see, I don't know exactly which moment you're talking about here, but before anybody swings, that's when challenges are done. So if that wasn't done in the battle report, it was most like a brain fart, because we all know that one. But if you're thinking it has to be done at initiative step or anything like that, because you did say initiative step, I'm sorry, I'm not quite following that, because there is no initiative step. All challenges are done before any blows are struck.
Yeah.
If you want to compare it to something, it could be initiative step 11. But what you said, from what you're trying to say, you may be 100% right. I'm not quite following what you're saying. Next thing you say, please ask Cullen why he's putting so many dice in the throne every turn. It makes no sense to me. I used to get that comment a lot all the time. Care to?
Yeah, well, if I'm taking the lore of life, then Throne is really the only defensive spell in that regard when I'm out of range, especially in the first couple turns, if my wizards are out of range. And it also prevents miscasts. So when I throw big dice at dwellers, I ignore on a 1-up.
Yeah, so
or 2-up, sorry. Yeah.
So let me explain what Cullen just said, because he actually pretty much nailed it on the head of what I want to say. It's a defensive spell. We'll get to that in a second. It's a spell that buffs everything else, so it's not one of those spells you just want to throw a couple of dice at and let your opponent just draw out their dice in this spell. You're willing to risk a higher a roll cast on that spell, because if you roll a 20 on it, your opponent goes, "Oh man, 20? Okay."
You never want to, it would be a horrible spell to waste your scroll on.
Right. So it's one of those. If Cullen rolls high on 4 dice for like Throne, it can really control Magic Phase, because then his next spells are so buffed that you have to dispel
And not
them.
only this turn, it's the next turn.
And that's the thing. It's the one spell that remains in play where you can I will then have the option of dispelling it on my turn, which is a great magic defense ability. If he has Throne up, I have less spells I want to cast, because I do not want him going into his next magic phase with Throne already up. So he's drawing out my power dice to dispel that. So it's a good spell to get off. So you either want to roll high, or rolling low doesn't really help you with Thrones. And if you miscast, you're good, because it goes off first and you ignore it on a 2+.
Exactly.
So yeah, I got that comment a lot myself, and I personally never throw less than 4 dice at Throne of Vines. But there's tactics, and that's how we play, I guess. Did I cover it all there?
I think so, yeah.
Also took you. I'm not going to get into that. You're absolutely okay. Actually, also took you longer to explain why you weren't rolling 2d6 3 times than to actually roll 2d6 3 times. You're right. I got stubborn and wanted to explain why I wasn't going to do something, and it actually took me longer to explain why I wasn't doing it than to just do it in the first place.
Or then that would have been another comment on here. So regardless, it came up in here.
Antho says 1633. The engineer in the steam tank is actually equipped with a repeater pistol, so he can shoot 3 times instead of just once.
Yep.
We missed that.
Yep.
Even I didn't know. Yeah. Okay.
My engineer actually, he's just he's got his hand pointing, so I don't have the pistol actually modeled on there, so I just assumed it was a normal pistol.
Yeah.
My bad.
So hey, we got some more attacks. Dear Baron says also the Exalted Champion BSB has 4 attacks. I think he'd be my Exalted Hero, and you're right. I keep thinking of them as 3 attack models, but they are 4 attack models.
No, 3's fine.
3's fine.
3's fine. He's already scary enough.
Halberdiers are leadership 7, not 8, and so should have fled when the Archlector's leadership. So when the Archlector refused his challenge, he couldn't use his leadership. So yeah, so when a character refuses a challenge, the unit cannot use his leadership. We may have said 8 at the time.
I think so. I think that's what would happen.
Unfortunately, and this is not an excuse, but more of an explanation, that game was played very late in the evening. So that's a mistake. Plus 1 leadership. It shouldn't have happened. You're absolutely right, it shouldn't have happened. So we both apologize.
Yep,
but,
my bad on that one.
Last one. Stuart Blytheworth. Did I miss something? Dragon Ogres are a 5+ scaly skin. You treat it as a 4+. They also have late armor. So a 4-up armor save is, I probably said 4-up scaly skin. Well, 4-up armor save is what I should have said, but they have 4-up armor. And that's it. That's what we got wrong last week, or last episode.
Yep.
We'll try to make sure those won't happen again.
Definitely.
Keep commenting, keep pointing them out, because if you point them out, we will try not to make them again.
Of course.
Because, like I said, the canon thing, I probably would never would have noticed unless you pointed it out.
I know.
So,
and, it makes sense now that you guys pointed it out. And it's like, oh yeah, that's why getting flank cannons are really good.
Yeah, for sure. So, again, we'll try not to make those mistakes again, but it might happen. Keep posting in the comments. Need you guys to do it. Love you guys for doing it. Thanks for watching, and happy wargaming.
Bye-bye.